Alright, so this is another update. We've been here 6 days. I know my videos haven't been quite as interesting as you guys would like. You know, we haven't done a lot of trips. With COVID, Grandpa dying, my dad dying, our dog dying, my mom getting in a car wreck and she almost lost her arm. Oh, and don't forget the Geo wiping out a yard and all that crap. So, I know the videos haven't been quite as exciting or interesting or all trailer kind of stuff that you might like to see. But as I mentioned the other day, I can actually appreciate having a camper now. But one little thing I wanted to show you that we did on our camper, I know this is stupid, but it's still kind of cool. Let me just show you. When we went to Okoboji last summer, Tiana put some twinkle lights up, like the Christmas lights, and I just thought it looked really cool. The camper's kind of a mess, excuse that, but let me show you this. These are kind of cool. I bought them at Walmart for $15 a strip, and they're these home and garden, simple LED light strips. Aren't they pretty? So we just put them all the way across. Let me turn the lights off so you can see. So I like that, that's cool. Has a handy dandy remote. I use the USB thing here and I got some of these little 3M clips. You can't really cut these wires, so I kind of clipped them down in a way that to take up the slack. So I just used the 3M clips and ran it, and I stuck it right on the plastic strip here, so if it needs to come off it can. And then, so it was just 2 of these, so it cost like 30 bucks. And then this just ran across the top. Kind of did the same thing, zigzagged it to take the slack out, and then now that's actually stuck to the bottom of this. It comes unstuck. I'm not sure why it's not sticking very well to the bottom of this. That's kind of disconcerting, but I'll deal with it. It does seem to be kind of sticking. I don't know. I'll figure out something. I guess maybe I should have cleaned it with alcohol or something before putting it up. Probably had oils from my hands from grabbing it to pull myself up. I don't know. So just make sure you clean that well before you stick it on there, because it don't want to stick normally. That stuck no issue. Yeah, I know. It's something stupid, something simple. But I just kind of wanted to show it to you. It's kind of just makes it cool. Cool little place to hang out. And like I say, you got the remote. Oh, and we're loving, again, I can't tell you how much I love the remote control AC vent system here. That AC unit thing was worth the 300 bucks we spent on it. Well, you had the fan going right then, but you can set it so it automatically turns off when so you don't have to hear the fan going all the time. So when you run it in that mode, I'm not sure why Robin has it in this mode. I guess she just wanted the fan going when she was in there. She really likes it too, because she's legally blind. She can't see knobs and stuff very well, especially when they're up above her. And so we put the app on her iPad, and now she can just set the temperature using her iPad. So it works out really well. So that's something. There's a video, I'll maybe put a link for it in the description about the video where I talk about that control panel for the AC. It's pretty slick. I would definitely recommend it. It's cool. All right, going in to say hi to Mom. Hi, Mom. Is your TV loud enough? Yeah. So today I'm going to try a new ham antenna. You see me the last time we were camping, I used a fishing pole. Well, I ended up getting leftover fiberglass parts from my antenna that I use at the house because it got wiped out during the duratio. But some of the parts were reusable. After I ordered a new one, there was like 3 or 4 sections that were still good in the old one. I am going to use the good pieces that I still have. So I do have the good pieces I brought with me, and I am going to attempt getting my little Yaesu 817 working here and try some wind link and stuff like that. Alright, so I have them laid out. So the fishing rod, which the tip broke off really easy, but I only paid $5 for the fishing rod, so it was cheap. But of course it's not going to stand perfectly taut and straight because it's kind of flimsy. So you can see with what remained of the fishing rod, it is only about a foot shorter than what I have with these fiberglass poles. The fishing rod starts here and it stops just that much longer. That's all it's left because the other end just snapped. It couldn't sustain any of the weight. So with this, however, I should be able to run that whole coax all the way down and make a nicer configuration. And it's going to easily stand higher because I can put like a support right here and set the pole right there. I don't have to set it all the way to the ground. It's just a sturdier pole. Now, also keep in mind I lost 2 of the lengths of this pole. So for the $178 that I paid for the original pole, you know, I didn't pay $178 for this. The original pole was $178. It got 2 of the lengths. The 2 bottom pieces got destroyed. So insurance paid to replace the whole pole. So then I just used the top 4 pieces that weren't destroyed, and that's what I'm gonna use on my camper. But $178, you can get like 25 feet of distance. And you see it at my house. At my house, even with that big long wire, it uses 1 guy wire to pull it taut. But if you're just doing 1 short little wire like what I'm doing, I think it's sturdy enough. But anyway, this is what I've got. I got it from DX Engineering, and I think that's going to work better than the fishing pole. So let me go ahead and continue setting it up. Actually, this works out a little nicer. So the coax end fits perfectly through the top of the antenna, and then I just have one of these banana clip connector things right here. And as you can see, it stops right here at the top. So it won't pull through. I'm gonna put banana clip ends on the wire so I can just stick them right in. I don't know, maybe I won't, because that'll put a lot of tension on these ends. So I'll probably just keep the wires the way I have them. But I really like these banana clip things that use the BNC. They really work good. At least I think they work great for portable ops. They're very simple. You don't really need a ballon for something like this. Yeah, I already like the way the configuration is going together already. So let's keep going. And honestly, I don't know why I never noticed this before. These BNC things aren't really made for antennas. That's what I'm using them for. It has a little hole right here, so I could actually run the wire through, and then I tied it off. So now the wire is not actually pulling on where it's connected. So the tension's not even, yeah, you see it. Isn't that slick? So I don't know if that's by design or just a coincidence. Maybe they do put them in there for wire tie-offs. I don't know. But in any case, it works well for that. That way, when these wires are stretched out, you're not pulling on the actual place where it's fastened to the post. So it's pretty slick. I know. Simple things, simple minds, simple things. I'm excited about that. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just gonna give my 2 cents. You know, I tried that buddy pole thing. I wasn't overly impressed. You can use the fishing rod like you saw me use. That worked well. I am using now this fiberglass pole, which honestly doesn't work any better than the fishing rod, but I have it, so I might as well. I'm gonna use the fishing rod more for portable because it's lighter. I can carry it with me, and I'll keep this big fiberglass pole with the camper. So this will be part of my camper rig. But as far as height, this height seems to work fine. I'm gonna get the radio hooked up a little later, but I like this height because it's a good angle for 20 meters, and also because if you go higher, you're gonna have to take the wires out a lot further. And if you're in a campground, you don't have a lot of room. You know, unless you're out in the wilderness and boondocking, you may not have a lot of room. You don't have a lot of room for radials. That's why I like the dipole. We did do some ham stuff a while back, and I was camping. I put it up in a tree, and we had wires ran all over the place, and it's just kind of cumbersome, and no one had an issue with it, but we fortunately had a big spot, and we were all together in a big group. But I like the idea of this because it's simple and it doesn't require a lot of space, and I only have to find one hook-off spot. So let me show it to you again. I know I showed it to you last year, but let me show you it again. You just use that BNC banana clip thing, whatever they're called, but I just run speaker wire down, and this is 20 meter, and it's been resonant every time. I don't have to do anything. Everywhere I go, it just works. It just works. I just got to cut the length. I'll give you the exact measurement later, but you can do the numbers on it. And I just run it down with the rope, and I literally there's my tie-off point. I don't have to find a tie-off point. It's right there. So the only place I have to find a tie-off point is for the other leg of the dipole. And so I just grabbed over here. So if you were camping out somewhere, you just gotta find one other place to tie off, you know, or a stake in the ground or something like that. But as you can see, it's a fairly small footprint. You're only going a little bit of distance out from behind your camper. And you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect straight, still work. So if you have to go slightly at an angle or something, bring it in a little, whatever, you'll still be fairly resonant and not taking, you know, a whole campground with wires everywhere. So I really like this idea for a simple 20 meter. It works really well. The one thing I do like about this pole is because it is fairly stout, I may spend the money and get the two bottom pieces if I could just order them by themselves. I don't think I can, but that would give me more height, not necessarily to run the dipole, but I could put like a 2 meter antenna on top or something like that. It is strong enough that you could do that, whereas a fishing pole, you really can't. I've got that Yagi arrow antenna, and I've got a bracket for it, you know, the ones used for satellite. So I could literally put that up there and I could just turn it to rotate it, and that might be fun to experiment with. I don't know how well it would reach, but, you know, don't know until you try.